The grilling will probably start in about 5, maybe 10 minutes, so please do make sure that you get a top up of food. There's plenty to go, and also some coffee as well, which is available, and some juices. So as we see in the headlines this week, Vicar gets a grilling, don't worry, know what's actually happened. And also a big thank you to each of you for coming this morning. Further into our question and answer session, so I'd like to welcome up first of all Andy, who is going to be asking the questions, and also Paul, who is going to be answering them. So please give them a welcome as they come to the front. That'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Well, welcome to Breakfast Live from All Saints Church, Malvern Wells. I'm Andy Davis, and we are here today to answer the question, why do we need a God anymore? To help answer this question is a Rev Paul Finch, who has kindly agreed to sit in a hot seat today. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much.
I might start off by asking, there have been many gods throughout human history. Mars, the Roman god of war, Apollo, the Greek god of wisdom, Isis, the Egyptian god of fertility, to name but a few. There have been numerous gods. So why do we need a god anymore?
I think one of the instances you're citing there through history, people have expressed a need for God, is it something inbuilt in humanity that needs to link with something far greater than themselves. There's the understanding that something must have brought them into being, and it would be good to be attached or in some way in communication with that being, and also that there must be some kind of purpose in living, and it would be good to actually find out what that purpose was, and through being in touch with the Creator, that would seem a possibility. And I'm certain that's why some of the people worshipped other gods. I think the other reason is that they feel that they're in need of some exterior power to come and help them in their life on earth. They find that they can't or couldn't live their life on earth on their own. And just as that was true for thousands of years ago, I'm certain it's true today with people, that they find that there needs to be something else in their life that will give them the purpose, that will give them the power to actually live life on earth.
Okay. You say people need a purpose and need something to believe in. People may say that, oh well, God, it's almost forced upon you. And people wouldn't say a God unless you go to a church. But wouldn't you say there are other buildings, for instance, public houses or football stadium? There's particularly recently, the new Wembley Stadium has been finished. That could be called the cathedral of the football stadium. Yet people who go to football matches and have pictures on their walls, they wouldn't call that worship. Could you say the difference between what is a God and what isn't a God?
I think I would call it worship, because it's adoring something, and worship is actually adoring, recognising something's pretty good. You want to express how much you appreciate it, etc., etc. And so when people get into Wembley Stadium or wherever people find themselves today in Israel chanting for England, it's a kind of worship. And I suppose true worship is actually linking in with God. That is an expression of, I suppose, worship towards another human being, adoring. In the marriage service, it used to say for the groom to the bride, and I thee worship. And it's adoring, and it's got that sense of it, loving. And people do love football, and it's good that they are able to express that. But I think worshipping God is at a much higher level, and giving him all he's worth. And that's what it means to worship, giving him all he's worth. The people in the terraces may be giving the football team all their worth, but they're not like, the football team is not like the God who created the world. And so there will be people in lots of different venues worshipping, but it will be subtly different because of the aspect of it being human worship towards another human being or something like that, compared to human worship towards God, who is obviously spirit.
So people need to actually give something of themselves to somebody or something else, rather than being totally self-centered. They feel a need to be able to express themselves and to give in some way.
I think people obviously need something to link with, and people use different things. It'd be their hobbies, their jobs, their family, their home, and people will be out probably later today worshipping something on four wheels. They'll be polishing it and tidying it up, etc., because it means something to them. And it's, I suppose, the difference between that and being a Christian is that, cars, etc., families, all important, but nothing's quite as important as God. So yes, you're right, there is something inbuilt in people that I think they need to worship, and they'll find something to worship that satisfies them. But it needs to be more than that, true worship.
So does it satisfy, though, the worship of the football stadium or the football team or the pop stars or the cars or the money or the houses? Is that ever really fulfilling for people? Do you think that ever...
Well, I think there are some people who probably say it is, but if you speak to people like Jason Robinson and others who have become Christians in their sporting area, I mean, Jason Robinson was in rugby league when he became a Christian at Wigan, and now plays for England Rugby Union. He would say none of that brought him total fulfilment. It was only when he became a follower of Christ that his life was transformed. But there'll be other people who will say that their sport brings them satisfaction to a certain extent, but I think it doesn't bring the total satisfaction that God wants them to bring. There will still be something more to life that they'll be straining for.
So when they've finished their sports or their career, there's going to be a hole. Is that what you're saying?
Well, maybe when they finish their career, or whilst they're still participating in their career, there may still be a hole, as it were. I think I read some time ago about somebody who was a multimillionaire, and he was never satisfied because there was always something more that he wanted, more money, more this, more that. So there was never that wholeness in his life in any shape or form. He still felt there was something missing. And I think that's probably true even in sport. There's always something missing. You know, we only got one trophy this year, we need 3 trophies next year, and so on. And then when you've got all the trophies, what do you do then? You've not got anything to go on to. And that's where I think worship on that level, the human level, becomes incomplete.
So never quite satisfied with what they've got. There's always something else, some goal.
That would seem to be the case. There's something missing. I mean, I think it was St. Augustine who said everybody has a God-shaped hole in their life, and people will try to fill that shape with lots of different things, but it'll never be complete because all the other things that they try to fill it with will never actually be whole. And it's only God who will actually fulfill the completeness of that God-shaped hole.
Okay.